So, hello. Thank you for joining us today. Those of you that are on here live with us and watching the replay. This is our weekly Nourish call. Right now, we're hosting a 12-week spring reset. So, all of us have come to this group and this community through this special box right here, which is the Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation. I call it a box of life. It's full of amazing, regeneratively grown organic nutrients to sustain yourself, your family, and living a good life and a vibrant life. So today I wanted to talk about the different colors of foods and how they affect and impact our mood, our body, the way that we show up in the world. And one of the best things about this box is that we get many different formulations of nutrients that are combined of all different types of colors. We have green, we have purple, we have reds, we have oranges, we have white, we have all these different colors of foods. And about a month ago, I went into my kindergarten class for my son and gave, a presentation to the kids around healthy eating and how the colors of foods impact us on different levels and what they do for our heart and our eyes and our brain and our mood and all of those things. And I thought, well, what a fun thing to bring it to our spring reset call. So, the cool thing about nature is it coded nutrients for us. And I'm going to bring up this little chart that I made just so you guys can see visually. I'm a very visual learner myself. Um, but this is a little chart I made with all the nutrients that are in our box besides the Super Cleansar. But the Super Cleansar would definitely fall in this brown category. But these are the things that come in our box. And red. Red, whenever you're eating red foods, these are key nutrients that support rest and recovery. Red is also really good for the blood and for the heart. And so Sleep Nightly has a lot of red foods in there. It has apothecary. And then these are just some examples of different nutrients that you can be eating when you're consuming your ULT or your LTD to support you. In addition to the superfoods. So our Can't Beat This, I know it has pomegranates in it as well. So these are just red foods and what they do for us. Our orange and our yellow foods, specifically the alpha omega, these are key for immunity health, immunity, that internal glow that you have or you see people have. And yellow and orange foods actually really help us with happy moods. They're really good for the endorphins in our body and to help us feel calm and happy and alive in our life. So alpha omega supports that. I know for me personally, when I've been doing the alpha omega, my nervous system has had like a breath of fresh air. And I really attribute it to that calming of my nervous system and just helping my mood feel brighter and lighter. So, some other key foods here that you can see in the chart. You guys are more than welcome to take a screenshot of this, but there's some more orange and yellow foods that you can eat in tandem with your ULT. And then green foods are really for our strength. If you see some of the strongest animals in the world, the gorillas or horses, the main foods that they consume is green foods, grasses, right? Herbs. And so our green foods, like in the Power Shake, is really for that strength. There's also a lot of green foods that are really alkalizing and detoxing for the body. So they help with that natural detoxification of our organs and that we all go through, right? We consume and then we eliminate. So that natural detoxification process. So some additional foods like kale and broccoli, which is in the Power Shake, green apples, green beans, zucchinis, avocados, all these things contribute to the strength in our body. And then we have the purple and blue. So purple and blue foods specifically, there's tons of them in our dark berry protein blend. This is really for brain health and cellular protection, like it says. So any types of berries, right? Your dark purple berries, your eggplants, your beets. We have the Can't Beat This that isn't on this list, but one of my absolute favorite with Purium. All of these things are contributing to brain health. And then we got white. And white foods are probably something I don't consume as much of, but the super aminos, I consume a lot of those in a day, and those are white, and those are really good for our cellular or our skeletal structure. So you think of bones being white as well, our skeletal structure, our connective tissue, also for immunity. So as you see some of these white foods like garlic and onions, we know are great for our immune health. And the super aminos are actually made from sprouted legumes. So there's white beans that are really healthy for our immunity and our structure. So those are just some of the foods too that are white foods that you can be consuming. And then when we think of brown, like I said, Super Cleansar, the Parasite Cleanse could be in this chart as well, but also our Biomedic. Brown foods are really good for gut health. And one of the things that's amazing about the Biomedic is it has naturally occurring humic ore in it, which is naturally occurring in soil. And so the healthier the microbiome of the soil, typically the healthier the gut or the microbiome of our gut. And so when we're eating brown foods, we're thinking about, prebiotics, probiotics that are really restoring that gut health. So flax seeds, almonds, sweet potatoes, mushrooms, all of these things. So it's really amazing to eat the rainbow. Like the wider diversity of color you're getting in your diet is just as important as the variety of um, categories of food that you're getting, right? So I just thought it would be fun today to have a little discussion about this and for people to share. Number one, what are some of your favorite colorful foods to eat alongside your ULT? And then also, what have you been noticing since you started your ULT? And maybe this is more, you're eating a broader spectrum of color than you usually do on a daily basis. And if so, would love to hear any stories of how that's affecting your mood or your immune health, your energy levels, any of that. So that's where I'm going to open the floor to hear from you guys. Let's see, it looks like Allison, you might be trying to come off mute.
Yeah, hi, Mary Beth. Great focus for the call. Good to see you. And I love to learn about plants. Can you hear me okay? I got a lot of background noise outside.
Yeah, yeah.
Great. Awesome. So I am celebrating 13 years in recovery. So that's actively growing along spiritual lines, but no longer partaking in, super destructive behaviors from drugs and alcohol. So what I started to learn about the power of green plants, not only because green plants absorb the most sunlight, sunlight being energy, but also those green plants curbing addictive tendencies. I'm really passionate about learning more about that side of living for not only myself, but the communities that I serve. So it makes perfect sense that there is a nature, while it looks wild and feckin' and just, all of this abandoned, there is a natural order to nature. So I love how you go through the colors of the rainbow. And to just touch on one more product, aka food, superfood. I love the white aminos. I don't really eat a lot of white things, but I thought that was really interesting that you related it to bones. And I just know for me, those aminos, I take 15 in the morning, 15 in the afternoon, and I bumped it up, started with 5. But I like the effects with more superfoods in my body and just the functionality of making my self care easier, more streamlined, so I can spend my mental energy and actually use my hands to do other things like take care of my kids or bring a project to life, go for a workout. So all of these things came with more energy and more clarity, and with more time, like my results just keep leveling up. So thanks.
Yeah, that's awesome, Allison. And I love that you mentioned about the green foods and the addictive behaviors. One of the reasons is because a lot of green foods have more of that bitter tendency, and bitter foods are really supportive of the liver, which is one of our main detox organs too. So when we detox some of these habitual cravings and patterns from our cellular structure, from our body, we start to see space for new things come in, right? And so that's really great that you bring that up. And I will share, this is kind of it just got released, but the aminos are on sale, buy 3, get 1 free starting today through Memorial Day weekend. So Allison, the amount that you consume in a day, I'm sure you'd love a free bottle.
Oh my God. Thank you. Thank
Yes.
you. Needed to
Yeah.
hear that announcement. PSA. Okay,
Yes.
thanks.
Awesome. Rita, I see your hand raised.
Hi, thanks for this super fun call. Layla's like jumping through the computer trying to get to you guys. She's loving this. But I just love colors, and getting the full spectrum in. And I've tried to eat a bunch of colors for the majority of my life, I guess, just because our mama was into it and growing food but it's not always easy to get in. So I love these superfoods that I can just easily drink that full spectrum, and you can see it even in the power shake, the different blues and purples and greens. And then I love then the dark berry, what you said about the brain and the blues and the purples. And I also just know, the plant's antioxidant protective properties with each of those colors. So it's so fun to just drink that liquid sunshine, drink those colors. I know Layla, she's almost 17 months and she just can't get enough. She's like, more Power Shake, more Epigenius. She just loves them. So yeah, thanks for this sweet, awesome call. And just the awareness of all it does for our immune system, to our skeletal structure, to all of it. So, yeah. And I would say the dark berries are my favorite color right now.
Nice. Me too. The blackberries have been so good right now. And one thing I want to share, you guys, is it's colorful food is like biological to us, something that we're drawn to because when we were hunter and gatherers, the way that we would gather food is looking for in the spring, oh, there's a vibrant pink, there's a vibrant yellow, and it made it easier for us to consume those things. And knowing that a lot of marketing ploys, like especially in the candy industry, they've known like the humans are biologically attracted to color. So let's make Skittles colorful. Let's make Lucky Charms colorful. Let's make all these candy bags and everything super color because on a biological level, that in our brain means food, right? From way, way back in the day. And so we're meant to eat a wide variety of color on a biological level. And so just remembering when we eat a lot of colors, we eat a lot of the color of rainbows, we're going back to our true nature. And I'm not talking about eating more Skittles and Lucky Charms and all those things. I'm talking about real colorful food, not additive colorful food. But there's a reason that marketing has done that, right? Because of the psychological effect. So I just thought I would share that little note. Anyone else? Krista or Michelle or Anastasia, do you want to comment on this aspect of how eating more colorful food has enhanced your health or your wellness, or maybe your favorite colorful food in our amazing ULT box? I would have to say probably the dark berry protein shake has been my real go-to lately. Maybe because I'm doing a lot of brain work and I just need that extra support, but it's real been my go-to. Krista, it looks like you might be wanting to share.
Hi. Yeah, this has been a really interesting journey so far for me. I'm on day 14, I think, today. 13 or 14. The good news is I'm not really counting anymore, so I'm sort of moving into this, okay, what am I going to cook and what am I going to make today? I've always eaten really colorful foods, so that hasn't really been much of a problem for me. But I would say that I'm still not feeling, I'm still, I'm still letting go of all the things that I've had in my system for so long. So it's really hard for me. I want to see like, feel more energy and I want to see like the pounds dropping off and I want to just feel this like I feel so good and I'm not there yet. So I'm still trying to break free of the iceberg and figure out like if I'm taking things at the right time and how they feel with me. But I tend to eat really well. Like I tend to always have made my own food. So I agree. I buy those purple sweet peppers at the farmer's market because they're so beautiful. I can't I'm like can you just taste how beautiful and purple they are? And so I do look at my meal and I say it very often. And this is so funny because it's coming from somebody who's colorblind. So, but I swear I can taste the rainbow and I swear I can taste those colors. And I'm so grateful for this chart and this information I think that's so helpful for someone like me. And I'm really trying to clean out my gut and I'm trying to clean out all the years of all the things. And I'm trying to, I'm sort of messing with the way we poop right now. And I'm a good pooper. So it's kind of weird. And so I'm not quite there yet. But this colorful diet and palette, I hope to embrace even more so as my lifestyle changes because that means I still have 80 days to go or something. So
Yeah.
I haven't quite started to feel it yet. And the one thing I will say is the sleep nightly and whatever I'm doing in my routine, I have been sleeping deeper, but I'm peeing so much. I get up all the time. And so hopefully I'll figure it all out. But
Yeah, no, and I'll just say, like, Krista, there's no wrong way to do this. Like, the fact that you're staying consistent is the most important piece. And that's why it is a 90-day journey. Because I know so many of us would love, like, that magic pill that, makes the weight drop right away or the energy come back right away. But just the reality is it's just not reality because of, what our bodies have been through, however many years they were, whatever we were doing with them and eating, putting in them. So just stay with it. That's my biggest piece of advice, Krista, is like it's 90 days for a reason. And usually that first month is just kind of finding your bearings and finding your footing and getting a groove with it. And then that second month comes in where you're in good flow and good balance. And then honestly, for myself and so many of the people that I help through this program, it's that third month where the breakthroughs start to come through because the body is finally in a good new habit now that it's able to release some of the things. So just stick with it. I mean, that's the essence of anything natural anyway. It's like consistency beats, you know, trying to just get it all in at once and get this massive result right away. It's the long-term consistency that changes lifestyle. So keep embracing the colors and just keep going with it, and reaching out for support when you need it. But I know for myself, I had my biggest breakthrough around 2.5 months where I really was all of a sudden like, whoa, I'm back to myself. Like I was so depleted that it took 2.5 months to get that much nutrition back in my body for my cells to start to ignite again. And I was coming from a really healthy lifestyle. So I thought as well, it's just the lives we lead are often so stressful and there's so many high demands that we don't really realize how depleted we are or how triggered our nervous system is and that the restoration takes time. So keep going. And yeah, just we're cheering you on. So thanks for sharing and being here. Um,
thank you.
all, all right. Well, is there anyone else that wants to share on this topic? We love to keep these calls about 15 to 20 minutes just because, it makes it easy for people to access. And we really just love to see each other's faces and have that connection once a week. But Anastasia?
Hi, thank you so much, Mary Beth. That's beautiful. And I really also try to get the rainbow into my diet. And sometimes that's really hard with my busy schedule lately. And I was just thinking that this morning, like, do I have like the reds in my, because I've been eating a lot of greens and yeah, I was just seeing that today, like, oh, I don't have enough red on my plate. But then when you bring up, just that the superfoods have this beautiful spectrum of color and also the white coming from the super aminos, it just makes me feel better that I have been actually getting it all in. And yeah, I felt pretty amazing so far on this cleanse. I just finished my last day of the parasite part yesterday. And so today I'm like, ooh, I get a break from that. And that feels good. Although I do love taking the super cleanser, I feel like it tastes yummy. It was like making my skin even smell yummy. I could smell it coming out. And so yeah, I'm excited for the break and for the next part of the parasite cleanse. I feel like I could really feel it working in my system and my system really changing a lot. I'm on day 21 today, and I just feel like still a lot of transformation happening. I think, yeah, I agree. I'm still not like where I want to be, but I feel my energy elevating and my system regulating. I would say like my moon cycle was easier this time. I just feel like things getting better all the time. So thank you so much and
Yeah.
all the support.
Yeah, thanks for being on. And I want to say the fact that you can, like when you said I can like smell it through my skin, that's actually a really good sign because our skin is one of our largest eliminatory organs. And so if you're doing, the parasite cleanse and you're noticing that maybe you have more sweat or you can smell things coming out or you can feel it's showing that your skin is eliminating as it should be. So that's actually a really good thing. And yeah, congratulations on 21 days. That's like significant as it is, 21. So. Glad you're here.
Thank you.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you for being here, you guys. We're here weekly. We have different hosts. And like I said, this is more than anything just a place to come together and be in like-minded community, talk about fun topics, and just share our superfood journeys as we embark on them. So whether you've been here for 7 years like me or you're just starting day 14, like we're so glad you're here. So thank you, everyone, and we'll see you next week.